One of the biggest joys that come from playing a video game is the replay value. Whether the game is fun, has an interesting story, holds significant value to the player, gamers have a tendency to want to replay a game more than once. Growing up, I replayed a ton of older games in my library. Plenty of Pokemon, Kirby, Mario, Smash Bros. All these games hold a good amount of replay value. But eventually, you kind of run out of ways to play the game differently and get bored of them. That's when the internet seriously changed the way we play games. See, being a young kid in the early 2000s meant the internet wasn't really a thing yet. But once it took off and more people had a family computer in their homes, gamers were then sharing discoveries of glitches, bugs, and other crazy ways to play the games we were all playing. Here's a classic example. For the longest time, I heard there was a way to get a Pokemon in Gen 1 over level 100. It was one of those rumors you heard at the playground, but never knew how it was possible, or even if it was true. I went years, possibly close to 2 decades, thinking it was just a myth. Then, one day, in the year 2020, I decided to replay Pokemon Red. All those rumors I heard on the playground were coming back to me, and I decided I must know if these rumors are true. After a quick Google search, I realized immediately that, yep, this old game has tons of glitches, but the rumors were true all along. But that's just one example. From Super Mario 64 Stairs glitch, Mario Kart Endless Track glitch, Pokemon's item duplication glitch, Smash Bros. Brawl giant Jigglypuff glitch, the door opened to sharing so many more hilarious and fun glitches when the internet became more accessible. But if you're like me, that's just not enough. The bugs and glitches are fun and all, but I want ways to really break the game. I'm tired of mashing buttons together in order to get the right combination going to start a glitch. I just want to turn the game on and immediately mess around with it. Well, that's where cheat codes come into play. I'd like to introduce the GameShark and Action Replay. There's plenty of other cheat code devices out there, but these are the only 2 that I know of and grew up with. These devices store codes beyond codes for hundreds of older titles, and at a press of a button, you can alter the game however you see fit. So these devices have been around since the 90s. I first used them in the late 2000s, early 2010s. 2010 was really over 10 years ago. I'm not okay with this. But anyways, I don't think I've ever met anyone else who already knows of these devices. It feels like one of those rare items that can be found among deep exploration. And man, that feels extremely accurate for video games. Also, somehow I lost my one and only Game Boy Advance GameShark. But somehow I own 2 DS Action Replays. I don't even know how this happened anymore. Like, I know I could just buy another one on eBay, but yeah, it's just one of those mysteries I'll never solve, and it's always gonna haunt me. Just like how I lost my Pokemon Silver. Literally, no idea how I lost it, and it's the Pokemon game I played. Anyways, I have so many fond memories of using the GameShark and Action Replay. I hate calling them cheat codes because that just sounds so gross and wrong. Like, I'm not hacking the game so I can be better than my friends. I'm not hacking the game to just win. Like, I'm using cheat codes because it's fun. Like, you never once used cheat codes in Grand Theft Auto to spawn helicopters or get all weapons. It's the same thing. So here are some examples. In Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland, it's incredible to just choose whichever power-up you want, or have access to Meta Knight early on. Having access to unlimited TMs in Gen 3 Pokemon games completely changed the battlefield. Doing a Mega Jump in Banjo-Kazooie, just amazing. Access to the Calm Barrel at any time in DK64 literally changes the whole game. Fast running in Animal Crossing and having unlimited bells. Okay, so sometimes I just want to be really good at the game. But you can see how this is incredibly fun, right? After the 100th playthrough, it's neat to revisit a game in a fresh, completely different way. So here's a couple stories I remember from my cheat code using days. See, it just sounds so dirty. Animal Crossing Wild World for the DS is a great place to start using an Action Replay. The grind to collect so many freaking bells to get out of debt is real. Imagine being done with it in like a single day, with some time skipping being involved. Also, completely designing your house with the exact furniture you want, instead of waiting for the next day to arrive and being disappointed by the current stock at Nooks. Like I said earlier, speed running in the literal sense of it really cuts down on travel time. However, it comes with a price. Sometimes if you run straight into a wall or a body of water, the game just kind of freezes. I don't know if it's something they can do intentionally now. I specifically remember it happening though. Sometimes I would try changing my villagers to someone else I really liked. And while it was amazing to just select which character you want, literally the only thing that changed was the skin of the character. Their home was the original setup, their voice was the original voice. It all just kind of felt wrong in the end. But you know what doesn't feel wrong? Getting rich immediately in a fictional world. Haha, the economy. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl was an interesting cheat code experience for me. Pokemon games in general seem to have the best cheat codes out there. In my experience, most games have the generic infinite lives, unlimited items codes, but Pokemon games offer tons more options. Walking through walls and on water is a cheat code that didn't really work for the Gen 3 games, but they worked magically for Diamond and Pearl. I was obsessed with the idea of just walking right through walls. The moment I knew it was a possibility, I just wanted to do it. Sometimes it's a really convenient cheat, especially if you don't have an HM move on you. But I wanted to explore the region, go where no one has gone before. And my young mind discovered that if you can't physically go outside a region in the game, then the developers wouldn't bother adding anything there to explore. I walked through trees of a town, walked forward into the black, and just kept walking. Eventually, I would find legendary Pokemon and the little tiny island that they're located on meant for in-game events. But outside of that, there's literally nothing interesting. It took me absolutely forever to walk back to the mainland. It doesn't seem like that far of a walk on the map, but the glitch keeps you from using your bike. As the glitch says, walk through walls. And if you think that story is good, I saved the best for last. Gen 3 Pokemon games offered incredible cheat codes, and I long for the days when I get a Game Boy Advance GameShark again. Other than the classic unlimited items, infinite money cheats, one of my favorite cheat codes was the access your PC at any time. Yes, it's convenient to access your Pokemon at any given time, but that's not the reason why I love this cheat. See, upon activating the cheat when pushed the needed button combination, a solid block appears in the pixel block in front of your character. You can't walk through it, you can't move it, it's just a solid block that appears, and it can only disappear when leaving the route or town you're in. Sounds like a huge problem to a cheat code, but my young creative self decided to run with it. So I head over to Lilycove City and created an actual maze using the PC block glitch. I dedicate so much time into creating the maze, hand off the Game Boy to a friend, and watch them find a way out of the maze. I know it sounds pretty dumb, but trust me, 13-year-old me found it amazing. Alright, one last story that's absolutely worth sharing. There was a website or a program that allowed you to custom build a Pokemon. You pick a Pokemon, decide on its ability, stats, and moveset. My best friend and I decided to make an invincible god Pokemon. No, not Arceus. In fact, he wasn't even a Pokemon at the time. I'm talking about the holy Pokemon himself, Sableye. So we gave Sableye Wonder Guard, an ability only accessible to Shedinja. The ability makes the Pokemon immune to damaging moves that are super effective, which is something that Sableye doesn't have due to its Ghost Dark type at the time. So literally the only time this Sableye took damage was from the status-inducing moves like Will-O-Wisp. And to make this Pokemon even more catastrophic to every trainer in the world, we gave him Lock On and 3 one-hit KO moves. Yep, this Sableye was ready for anything and everything. Well, I hope you enjoyed hearing these stories of when I heavily used cheat codes. I honestly think I could ramble on and on about cheats I discovered and how they affected the game. If I ever remember any more stories, I'll be sure to include it in a second video. But enough about me, I'd love to hear your stories in the comments below. GameShark, Action Replay, heck, anything related to modding a game too. Let me hear about it below. Until next time.